In this video, we will discuss The Hunt 2 will be about the Flat Earthers joke writers. Before I start the video, please subscribe to our channel for movies updates. So let's start. The Hunt 2 will be about Flat Earthers jokes, one of the movie's writers, Nick Cuse. Having experienced no small amount of controversy in the lead up to its delayed release, the makers of horror thriller The Hunt are already talking about the possibility of a sequel. The film, which is currently in theaters, tells the story of a group of people who wake up in a clearing without any idea where they are or how they got there. They soon discover that their very survival is under threat as a group of hunters are actively pursuing them. Unwilling to simply give in and die, the group discover a cache of weapons, and soon, the most skilled survivalist among them, a woman called Crystal, begins fighting back and winning. The film's release was initially marred by a mass shooting in the US and ill-informed rumors that the plot was dedicated to Republicans hunting Democrats for support. Universal pulled the plug on The Hunt back in August, but the film has recently been released and has since received mixed reviews. It still remains to be seen how successful The Hunt will be, especially during a time where social isolation remains a priority as a result of the corona pandemic. Nonetheless, a sequel appeared to be a definite possibility. During a recent exclusive interview, Screen Rant sat down with The Hunt's director, Craig, as well as the film's writer, Damon and Nick. The conversation inevitably turned towards the topic of a sequel, with both Damon and Nick acknowledging that The Hunt 2 could very well be a possibility. But exactly what kind of sequel could follow The Hunt is a tough question to answer. According to Damon, the idea of a bigger hunt in a follow-up film holds little appeal. As a result, any sort of sequel would have to focus on something like a conspiracy theory too ridiculous that few could actually believe it. But what could that be? According to Cuse and Zobel, Flat Earthers could be just the right target. Can you imagine yourself doing sequels if the response to the film is positive enough? Damon: well, I don't know, does Jason Blum do sequels? I'm joking, there is literally like Insidious 9. Yeah, I mean, Nick and I have certainly fantasized about the idea. I think that to do The Hunt 2 and just say, oh, now there is bigger hunt, that's not interesting to us. But the movie is really about conspiracy theory and what people will believe and ask the questions. Is there any conspiracy theory? That's so ridiculous that no one would believe it. And that feels to me like it's a very fertile space for storytelling. And so the idea of having more conversation about what people believe versus what is actually true, we hear things in the word and go, that can't be true, and it turns out to be true. I think that would make for a very interesting potential sequel. Nick Cuse: maybe, yeah, I mean, if people like it, it's always a conversation worth having. But I think the idea that's interesting outside of just this movie is, what is a conspiracy that became real? Because there is more out there, so Flat Earth is the next one. And then Craig Zobel says, yeah, we are making a Flat Earth, we are gonna prove it. Of course, the idea of a sequel that focuses on Flat Earther is a joke at this point, but it does provide some insight into what direction Lindelof, Cuse and Zobel are interested in heading. For the unitated, Flat Earthers are people who believe that the Earth is actually flat. The woefully outdated concept has been experiencing a bit of rejuvenation over the past few years, yet still has not reached the same degree of acceptance as it did when it was first announced in a modern context almost 200 years ago. In fact, in recent years, professional basketball player Kyrie and Hall of Famer Shaquille O'Neal have both expressed belief in the Earth being flat, though O'Neal later stated he was joking. Considering that The Hunt is a film that focuses on how unchecked opinions are often erroneously turned into fact, we do seem to be living in a time where there is plenty of fuel for a sequel. The film's writers and director may just be joking about the idea of a sequel dealing with Flat Earthers. However, if their intent is to make a sequel about a conspiracy theory that few take seriously, Flat Earthers are just one current example of people who maintain misguided beliefs in the 21st century. So that's it for now. Stay tuned for more updates. Thank you.